So the Olympics opening recently happened, and it was anything but subtle. They were very direct about spreading a certain type of an agenda. You could see all kinds of drag queen, LGBT, whatnots, and the whole nine quiets. But I want to show you something. I want to show you the director of all of that art. All of the things that were being shown, all of the stuff that you saw, all the things that kind of like pissed off people with their Last Supper pictures and whatnots and stuff like that. All those things that pissed off people was behind one particular director. And I want you to hear the agenda he intends on spreading. Because once you hear it, it will kind of make you aware where we are. Christians have been saying there's a spirit behind this entire thing. It's more than just about making money. There is a spirit that moves these people to doing these things. And that's what we're going to be talking about. It's the Christianity Show with the daily Christian commentary videos. If it's the first time over here, to be sure, check out some other videos that are down in the pinned comments, and I'm going to check you out over there. So, this opening was wild. And I kept getting messages about it yesterday. On yesterday's videos, Ricky, you got to check out this opening. And so, first of all, they're trying to preach something. There is more than what people are actually even seeing from it. Whatever they had. When it starts, this woman is in a scene, that scene like the Last Supper, as a matter of fact. But there's no food. There's only a DJ deck. It reveals a figure who comes out on a plate of food, and it's a gentleman who is in blue. They say it's the spirit or what? No. So the disciples, she said, "Oh no, it's not about. We are preaching the gay New Testament." In their view, this is what Jesus and the disciples might have been eating. You know, they were there just feasting on self. 1 Corinthians chapter number 10, verse number 7. It says, neither be idolaters. The Bible says, refrain yourself from joining these people. As I'm saying here, the dangers of being a member of this particular agenda that's out there. It says, neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. So it's funny that verse sounds exactly like what they're trying to do at the Olympics. They're gonna show these radical images of their version of the Last Supper before they go on to play. I just thought that was quite an interesting one. That the Bible says, don't be part of this entire whole hajjahs that they are doing over there. I want to remind, in the meantime, there was a gay choir that 3 years back, just a reminder, that came out. They made a song that was telling of an agenda. That's why I say the dangers of being part of this agenda, because it's more than the Olympics. Now, I want to play you that song. It's this song right here. They sang a song, and this is what they said.
Sinful, you fight against our rights. You say we all lead lives you can't respect.
Remember, it's a gay group, gay choir.
But you're just frightened. You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked. Funny, just this once, you're correct. We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it.
That's the agenda. It's been the agenda. Because a lot of people might think they just support this, but they don't see this is a spirit. It spreads itself wide. Like, for example, one of these participants, being this guy here, convicted for, you can see right there, for that. There, is a Dutch player. He's there right now, and there's been an outrage because this guy was a convicted thingy. It's an agenda. It's more than just thingy. It goes beyond thingy. The sin nature here is showing itself very. Okay. Now, if you go back to, as I was saying, right, there are companies that are actually pulling out. There are companies that are pulling out their advertisement because of this mockery. And so now, whichever company, whether it be NBC, paid for the rights to broadcast this thing, the 8 billion that they plunged into advertising on this is threatened because people are not going to watch this. People are pissed. I'm talking about even people that are not Christians. Now, I did mention in the beginning, I want to bring in the guy who is responsible for it. And it's this guy right here. I want you guys to hear what this guy said. It's quite, wow. He's very clear. He understands the agenda. He understands. And I think the Euro News, I think that's what they call them, Euro News Culture on YouTube. They interviewed this guy, and he's very clear. They intend on changing things. But before we go to that, I'm going to play a news play from Sky News.
They're honestly a mess. And I think the reason why is because the more that you unravel and reject Christianity, which is what built the West, the more you're going to get this pagan crap shoved in your face. And I'm so...
Do you hear that? She says, the more people reject Christianity, paganism is what gets shoved before their face. So right now, we've been having all these movements around the world, whether it be here in Africa with the Mapongas and so forth, and all these things. It's all a spirit. That's moving all these people into one agenda, opposition of Christianity. I don't blame all of you. You're functioning under a spirit of rebellion, all of you. She says, once people start rejecting Christianity, they fall straight into paganism. And this is what it looks like.
Sorry, I am a Christian. This did offend me. It also offended a lot of people who just want to watch the Olympics because it unites people around the world on a common interest of the enjoyment of sport and not...
Now, she goes on to give an example about how it, to her, the Olympics were always a family event. You know, they enjoyed thingy because she had someone who participated in the Olympics. I want to give you an example. For me, personally, right? I remember when I came to Joburg first, my mom was friends with one of South Africa's very well-known Olympic runner by the name of Brian Mrauds. This particular gentleman right here. He passed away in 2014, right? And so, so I had... it was just quite shocking that my mom was close to this person or stayed in the dorms with one of these persons who just happened to be close with an Olympic runner, well known in South Africa. And so sports, I remember, was, these videos of triumphant and also victory, a person struggling over a long period to even get a medal and then finally they win. These videos were videos that I used to watch to motivate. When everything is negative, these were the videos that I watched a lot, all the way to the back, all the way to the front. I can completely understand what she's trying to point to because of that friendship that I saw when my mom was friends with this particular, with this family member of things. She was also a runner. I don't know if she ended up being a professional runner because it's been years since then. And so this particular lady shows that. She says, this was a family event, but now it's become this entire agenda and they're pushing whatever they're pushing over there because of agendas. Now, I want to play you what that guy said. And the bravery of these people. I'm telling you, man, these people are brave. Right. Let me put him up. Listen to what he says. He says, France is like a long story, a story that keeps expanding and rewriting itself, right? This is the director, okay, as you can see here in the title, right? So I'm just going to play just in case. You know, these news platforms, they can be funny sometimes. So, and then he goes on and he says, and it is very much alive, the story that they are forever telling. It's very much alive. And then he goes on to say, and that's why there is a restlessness with polemics. Of polemics is it's an expression or a piece of writing expressing a strongly critical attack or controversial opinion about someone or something. And so this polemics view, it's meant, it's an attack mode. So what I do is apologetics. Polemics as a whole is this idea where you're almost attack mode of. So he's clear that they are using an attack mode on culture to change it. Interesting. Says, yeah, that's what they're going for. It's a restless thing for polemics and stuff. And then he goes on to say there in that speech that he was making in the interview that we are known for the protests we hold and the strikes, basically, and the consistent questioning of our identity. We're trying to reimagine how people see themselves, and it has been influenced by many and has influenced the world. And so this is what he's very clear about. They are trying to advocate what culture has always seen and change it right before our eyes. Just much like that song that you saw. So when you see all these things that they are painting out there, right? When you see all these ideas and agendas of pushing out drag and gay people behind Jesus and whatnot, it's like when you see that other picture that I showed a little bit earlier on, and you look at it, in the earlier picture, there's a child sitting on the table. So you would be thinking, the audacity, what's a child doing there? There was one child, yeah, they should, surrounded by all these people who are either dressed drag or gay or something, or men wearing, it's all of that. In front of all of that, they put a child there. If you're reimagining your ideas and not trying to change how, you see, it's exactly what I've said about these people of the flag. You see, they don't care what the truth says in the Bible. They want to make sure that we change how we communicate about it. That's the agenda. That's why I say it's a very dangerous thing to be a part of this agenda. There's a reason why God stopped it in Sodom of Gomorrah. Look at what we have done with this thing over the last 20, 30 years. Just 30 years. Pure corruption. I want to change language. Them now is no longer a group, it's one person. They want to change everything. Now, even the Last Supper, the thing that we're feasting on. It's a dangerous thing, the Bible says, to fall into the hands of a righteous God. It means the judgment that you will stand there